Have you ever heard of someone who went to sleep and never woke up? No warning, no emergency, just silence. It sounds rare, but it happens more often than people think. And here's the scary part. In many cases, it could have been prevented. There are silent signals your body sends every day, small warning signs that most people ignore. A little fatigue, slight chest discomfort, poor sleep, feeling out of breath. Nothing that seems serious, until it is. The truth is, your body doesn't fail overnight. It gives you clues. But if you don't know what to look for, you'll miss them. In this video, you're going to discover what really causes these sudden nighttime deaths, the warning signs most people ignore, and the daily habits that could be putting you at risk without you even realizing it. This is not about fear, it's about awareness. Because what you're about to learn could save your life or someone you care about. So pay close attention. What you ignore today might matter more than you think. It sounds shocking, but it happens more often than people think. Someone goes to bed feeling fine and never wakes up. No warning, no obvious signs, just silence. So what really happened? In many cases, the answer isn't as mysterious as it seems. There are underlying conditions that quietly develop over time, conditions most people ignore. One of the biggest risks is related to the heart. Your heart doesn't just stop randomly. Most of the time there are warning signs, but they are subtle, easy to dismiss. Fatigue, occasional chest discomfort, shortness of breath, irregular heartbeat. These symptoms don't always feel serious, so people continue their daily lives, unaware that something dangerous is building up. Now here's where it becomes critical. During sleep, your body slows down, your heart rate drops, your breathing becomes more regular. For a healthy person, this is completely normal. But if there's an underlying issue, like an undiagnosed heart condition, severe sleep apnea, or poor cardiovascular health, this resting state can become risky. Sleep apnea, for example, causes repeated interruptions in breathing during sleep. This reduces oxygen levels and puts stress on the heart. Over time, this can increase the risk of serious complications. Another hidden factor is poor lifestyle habits. Lack of exercise, unhealthy diet, chronic stress, and poor sleep quality all contribute to weakening the cardiovascular system. And the most dangerous part? These risks build silently. No alarms, no urgent pain, until something happens. That's why understanding these risks is so important, because prevention is always more powerful than reaction. The goal is not fear, the goal is awareness. Because when you know what to look for, you can act early, and that can make all the difference. Your body is always communicating with you. The problem is, most people don't listen. They wait for something dramatic, something obvious. But serious health problems rarely start that way. They begin quietly. Let's talk about some of the most commonly ignored warning signs. First, persistent fatigue. Not just being tired after a long day, but feeling exhausted even after rest. This could be a sign that your body is not getting enough oxygen or that your heart is working harder than it should. Second, shortness of breath. If you feel out of breath during simple activities like walking, climbing stairs, or even lying down, it may indicate a cardiovascular or respiratory issue. Third, chest discomfort. Not always sharp pain. Sometimes it's pressure, tightness, or a burning sensation. Many people confuse it with indigestion or stress. Fourth, irregular heartbeat. A racing heart, a fluttering sensation, skipped beats. These signs are often dismissed, but they should never be ignored. Another major warning sign is poor sleep quality. Waking up frequently, snoring heavily, feeling tired despite sleeping for hours. These can be signs of sleep apnea, a serious condition that affects breathing during sleep. And here's something important. These symptoms don't always happen together. You might experience just one or two and still be at risk. That's why awareness is key. Ignoring these signs doesn't make them disappear. It allows the problem to grow. Now let's talk about what really increases the risk, your daily habits. Because in most cases, It's not one single event that leads to serious health problems. It's the accumulation of small, repeated behaviors over time, and many of them seem harmless. Let's start with one of the biggest factors: lack of physical activity. When you spend most of your day sitting, whether at a desk, in a car, or on your phone, your body becomes less efficient. Your heart doesn't get the stimulation it needs to stay strong. Blood circulation slows down. Over time, this increases the risk of heart disease. Your body was designed to move. Even simple daily activity like walking can make a huge difference. Now let's look at diet. Highly processed foods, excessive sugar, unhealthy fats, and high salt intake all put extra stress on your cardiovascular system. These foods may be convenient, but they often lack the nutrients your body needs. Over time, poor diet contributes to high blood pressure, cholesterol imbalances, and weight gain, all major risk factors. Another key issue is chronic stress. Stress is not just mental, it has physical effects on your body. It increases your heart rate, raises blood pressure, and disrupts sleep. When stress becomes constant, your body never fully recovers. And that leads us to another major risk factor: poor sleep. Sleep is when your body repairs itself. If your sleep is disrupted by stress, screens, or conditions like sleep apnea, your heart doesn't get the recovery it needs. Waking up tired every day is not normal. It's a signal. Now, let's talk about smoking and alcohol. Smoking damages blood vessels, reduces oxygen in your blood, and significantly increases the risk of heart problems. Excessive alcohol consumption can also weaken the heart and disrupt normal rhythms. And finally, there's something many people underestimate: ignoring medical checkups. You might feel fine, but many serious conditions develop without obvious symptoms. Regular checkups can detect problems early, before they become dangerous. Here's the reality: these habits don't cause immediate damage. That's why they're easy to ignore. But over months and years they build up, and eventually they can lead to serious consequences. The good news? Every one of these risk factors can be improved. Small changes, consistent changes, can protect your heart and reduce your risk significantly, because your future health is shaped by what you do today. So now the question becomes simple: what can you actually do to reduce your risk? The answer is not complicated, but it requires consistency. Let's start with the foundation: movement. You don't need intense workouts or complicated routines. What matters most is regular activity. A simple 30-minute walk every day can improve circulation, strengthen your heart, and reduce stress. If you sit a lot, try to stand up and move every hour, even for a few minutes. Small actions, repeated daily, create powerful results. Next, your diet. Focus on real, whole foods: vegetables, fruits, lean proteins, whole grains, and healthy fats. These provide the nutrients your body needs to function properly. Try to reduce processed foods, excess sugar, and high-salt meals. You don't need perfection, just better choices more often. Now let's talk about something many people underestimate: sleep quality. Aim for consistent, restful sleep. Go to bed at the same time each night. Limit screen exposure before sleep. Create a calm environment. If you snore heavily or wake up tired every day, don't ignore it. It could be a sign of a deeper issue like sleep apnea. Another key factor is stress management. You can't eliminate stress completely, but you can control how you respond to it. Simple practices like deep breathing, walking, meditation, or even quiet time can help your body reset. Your heart benefits when your mind is calm. Now, here's something that could save your life. Pay attention to your body. If you notice unusual symptoms, chest discomfort, shortness of breath, irregular heartbeat, extreme fatigue, don't ignore them. Seek medical advice. Early action can prevent serious outcomes. And finally, regular checkups. Even if you feel healthy, routine medical evaluations can detect hidden problems early. Blood pressure, cholesterol levels, heart rhythm, these are things you should know, because what you don't see can still affect you. Here's the truth: most of the risks we talked about are preventable. Not with extreme measures, not with fear, but with awareness, consistency, and smart decisions. You don't need to change everything overnight. Start small, move a little more, eat a little better, sleep a little deeper, because your health is not built in one moment. It's built every single day, and the choices you make today can protect your life tomorrow. Here's something most people don't want to hear, but need to understand. Serious health problems rarely appear overnight. They build slowly, quietly, over time, and by the time they become obvious, it's often much harder to reverse them. That's the truth most people realize too late. We live in a world where it's easy to ignore our health. Busy schedules, stress, responsibilities. We tell ourselves, I'll take care of it later. But later is not guaranteed. The story you heard at the beginning, someone going to sleep and never waking up, is not just about fear. It's about awareness. Because in many cases, the warning signs were there. They were just ignored. And that's what needs to change. You don't need to live in fear, but you do need to stay aware. Your body gives you signals every day. Energy levels, sleep quality, breathing, heart rhythm, digestion. These are not random. They are feedback. When something feels off, it usually is. And the sooner you pay attention, the easier it is to fix. Now let's be clear. This is not about becoming perfect. You don't need a flawless diet. You don't need to exercise for hours every day. What matters is consistency. Small habits, repeated over time. That's what protects your health. A short walk every day, drinking enough water, sleeping properly, managing stress, listening to your body. These may seem simple, but they are powerful. And most importantly, they are within your control. Here's another important point. Don't wait for symptoms to become severe. Don't wait for a wake-up call, because sometimes the wake-up call never comes. Prevention is not dramatic, it's quiet, it's daily, it's intentional, and it works. At the end of the day, your health is your responsibility. No one else can take care of your body for you. But the good news, you have more control than you think. Every decision you make, what you eat, how you move, how you rest, shapes your future. So start today, not tomorrow, not next week, today. Because the goal is simple, to live longer, to feel better, and to never become a story that could have been prevented.